Alright guys, welcome to the Framework Fortune YouTube channel. You want to learn day trading, fix your credit, real estate investing, anything like that, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Today I'm going to show you how to set up your ThinkorSwim platform for day trading. So let's get into it. Now when you log into your paper trade account or your live trade account, but if you're a brand new trader, you should be paper trading for at least 3 to 6 months. You have to keep in mind this is a skill that you have to learn, like going to college for being a doctor or anything else. This takes time. This is not a get rich overnight type of thing. So just keep that in mind. It does take time to learn. It takes time to master. And you don't really want to risk any real money until you've got it mastered paper trading. So when you log into your paper trade account, you should have something that looks like this. Okay, don't worry about any of this. We're going to get it all set up to where it'll all make sense, and I'll explain some stuff in a little detail, but I'll do more in-depth videos on certain things. So first thing you want to do is go up here to the charts and click on the charts. Now you'll have this little blank ugly screen here, and we want to get this set up. And it's been a while since I've set up my platform, so starting fresh here, I might be a little slow because I've got to remember exactly how to do it. I'll set mine up one time and that's it. It saves it so you never have to do it again. So we want to get, actually, let's see. Let's put in a random stock. Let's see, SOLY was a big one last week, so if I remember correctly. Yeah, so this was a big jumper. As you see right here, it went from $5 and it was all the way up at $30. That is a huge jump. That's a parabolic move. That's the things we want. This can change people's lives. For example, whoops, didn't mean to do that. For example, say you got 500 shares of this at, we'll just say to keep it simple math, at $5, you know, that's $2,500, and this thing moves $25. $25 times 25 or times 500. Yeah, that's a good chunk of money. So it is very profitable. There's ways to make money, but let's get into this. So we're going to use this, and if you look right here, there's a little chain looking thing, and we're going to link everything together. So it doesn't matter what color you do. I'm just going to do red, and then we're going to go down here. Well, I can't see it on this one. Let's see where we at. Oh, it's over here. Okay. Red. I don't think we need this one. Probably not. So anyways, we've got this link, so it's showing, now it's showing ABIO. That's fine, we'll just leave it there. So you got this linked, this chart, this chart, this chart. We'll do something with this in a second, but let's set this up. The first chart you're going to want, you click right here, D, it's for day, it's the time frame. So this is the 1 year, 1 day. That's fine if you just want to use that. It's a basic, pretty basic. I use it myself. See, the things we're not going to need. We don't need this, don't need this, don't need this. See, these are all just random charts that you don't need. We want to keep day trading as simple as possible. So all these extra things, don't even worry about. We do want the 5 day, 5 minute, the 1 day, 1 minute chart. Like I said, you can use the 1 year, 1 day. It'll show you a little further back. But sometimes I like, most of the time anyway, I like to do a 6 month, 1 day. That's just my preference. But like I said, you can use this one too. There's not much of a difference really. And so we've changed this. Well, we change it yet. There we go. So now, so you can see it's look a little, with the 6 versus the 1 year, it looks a little better. It looks like you can see things recently that can help you. So there's the 1 year. There's a lot going on there. Like I said, we're going to keep it a little more simple. So this is the past 6 months, starting from here all the way up to the current date. You see down here, here's the dates. Okay. So now we want to take these candles. These are called candles, and they're kind of open. This is another preference thing. You don't have to do this, but I'm just going to change the look of things a little bit. So if I could remember, appearance, yeah. So you hit this little settings button, and then you'll get this. Then we want to fill that up so that looks clean. And we've got these lines. You may want them as a new trader because they do hit on resistance or support. So in day trading, every 25 cents is support and resistance. So on this chart, you can see $2.50 there's a line, $5 there's a line, $7.50, and that's because this stock had a pretty big run. So normally, if it's a smaller looking chart, it will be a lot more in depth than this, but you have that there. So we add the fill up. If you want to change the background color, you can. I like to make it all black right here. The background preset colors for the volume bar, that's this right here. That is pretty important. You do want that. So if you don't want these lines, so you can make them more prevalent if you want those lines, or you can take them completely out. That's up to you what you want to do. I'm going to leave them, but I'm going to make them a little bit lighter. So that's all we want to do there. Apply. Ooh, no, that's too much. That's too much. I don't like that. See, matter of fact, you know what? I'm just going to take it off. Just my preference. Like I said, I like it simple and I like it clean. So let's just do that. Okay. So now this is pretty clean looking. We have our 6 month chart. We have our volume bar. So now we want to add in our moving averages. So you go to studies. We'll just do quick. Let's see, edit studies. This is the best way to do it. Go to edit studies, and then just type in. Now they may have done some updates. Things might not look as simple. Moving average. Let's see. Okay, so here's simple moving average. There's two easy moving averages I use, and like I said, I'll go into detail about moving averages. I'm looking for exponential moving average. Right here. So exponential. So you can use exponential or you can use simple. It's kind of a personal preference. A lot of traders use one or the other. Some use both. To me, I like exponential because it's a little bit more detailed. And all the moving average is basically what it sounds like. The average of how the stock has moved on this chart in this time frame. So let's go ahead and add this moving average. And it's going to start you out on the 9. And that's fine. It's the 9-day moving average. I was using the 13-day because it's kind of a 2-week moving average, but I'm just going to use the 9. It doesn't make that big a difference. I mean, you're talking about 9 days and 13 days. It's a 4-day difference. Just because the basic is 9, we're just going to use 9. And then I changed the color to green for this one. So hit OK. Then we want to add another one. You're going to add 3 moving averages. the 9 or 13, depending on your preference. To me, we're just going to go with 9. You guys probably want to go with 9. Then we're going to do the 50-day moving average. We're going to make it blue. Okay. And then we're going to add the third one. And this is going to be the 200-day moving average. So what this is going to do is act like support and resistance. This is going to be a technical indicator. And I could go in to explaining everything about all that, but really you need to keep things simple. So if you look here, the red's the 200-day, blue's the 50-day, the green is the 9. So as you can see, this is a pretty decent example. If you look right here, this stock had 2 moving averages cross over right here. This was resistance. The stock is below the moving averages. It pops through these two and goes on a nice run up and gets a little caught on this 200. Resistance, support. So now this green one, since it's the lowest, the middle one, is your support. So that's how you use this, as support and resistance. So you see it busts through all three, goes on a massive run, drops all the way back down, and hits right here, the 200-day moving average. Support. Support is your floor. Resistance is your ceiling. So if you throw a bouncy ball or something, it's going to hit the ceiling, drop down, hit the floor, bounce back up. So this is like, you might miss this whole move and be like, oh man, I missed money. No, you didn't. Because now that this old resistance where it busted through here has turned into a floor now, because it's above this ceiling, it's on the next level, this is the floor. So it comes back down, hits the floor, goes back up. Look at there. Simple, easy way to make money in the stock market, just playing support and resistance. So that's why we have these on here. They work as just an indicator to tell you where support is and where's resistance. That's simple as I can make it. I can go into it further and do videos about it for the MAs, but I will do a video on support and resistance because that's very important, and I'll touch on the EMAs and SMAs and all that stuff then. So for this, that's all. That's all we want for this chart. The 6 month with our moving averages. Pretty simple. So now we're going to go down here, and this one we want a 1 day, and it looks like it filled everything in already for me. So, well, maybe not. So settings, this little gear looking button, appearance, fill up. Let's take that off. Alright, so apply. Okay, and now we have this clean chart. Now some people use moving averages on the 1 minute chart. I don't like that. I like to keep the chart pretty simple. So what I'm gonna do, let's see this, let's go, there we go. So now I've changed it to the 1 minute. You see there. The one thing I use a little bit, it's kind of a tricky, complicated indicator. It's like a moving average, but it's called the VWAP, and that's volume weighted average per share or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of tricky to explain, and it's not really that important to explain it because you're basically just going to use it as a line for support and resistance, like up here. So yeah, edit studies, and the shorthand for it is called VWAP. So put the VWAP in. We're going to turn off. See, I like it to be white, just so I know it's something that's not that big. And then we want to look for, where's it at? We want to turn off this upper and lower band. Some people use that, the upper and lower bands, but maybe it's, How do I turn it off? I can't remember how to turn it off, guys. Give me just a second to figure this out. Let's see. Maybe it's already off. Let's see if it's already off or not. Nope, it's not. So see, this looks crazy with all that on there. We don't want all that. We just want that white line. So, what was the easy way to pull this off? Oh, maybe this is it. Show plot. Show plot. Yeah, so you just hit show plot, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so that did it. So you can see here on the 1 minute chart, we have the white line, the VWAP. You can see right now, I mean, it's Sunday, so this chart's like super ugly. For the 1 minute, 1 day, there's nothing going on, so it's just going to look crazy. It'll look a lot better once you're into actual trading time. So that's all we're going to do for that chart. So we got our 1 minute, our 6 month. Now, we don't need any other charts. We just want these two. In the first 30 minutes of the market, you're going to use the 1 minute. It's going to be your main thing. But then after about 30 minutes or so, you can switch over to the 5 minute. So that way you can see a little better, but we'll just leave it on the 1 minute for now. That's very easy to switch from. 1 minute, 5 minute. Pretty simple. So that's the only charts we need. So now we're going to add in the last couple of things we need. So that's your charting. Very simple. Like I said, I like to keep things simple. I like to keep things clean. So we need to add in a level 2. I don't want it there. Time and sales. Why is it putting it here? I'm gonna shrink that. Whoa. Okay, so let's do this then. Take the level 2 off. Time and sales. This is what we'll do. So we'll link this one again. We're going to take the chart off. Go over here. Right here on the sides of the charts, you can see these different things, and these are what we're going to use. So let's put in level 2 and time and sales. I don't really like it like that. I usually like these two side by side, but it doesn't really matter. This is fine too. These are very important because while you're looking at the trade, you're going to be trying to figure out where it's going to go, and these will tell you where the stock is going to go. So the time and sales is basically every time order goes through, at what time, what price, and how big. And then the level 2 is going to show the orders on the bid. These are buyers and these are sellers. So this will tell you support and resistance as well. And I'll do a whole lesson on how to read these two, but we're just setting things up for now, so we'll just leave that like that. Like I said, normally, where'd it go? Normally, I like to have these side by side, and there's a way to do it, but I'm just going to leave it like this. And this is fine. So then, we also need our buttons. And this is where all the magic happens. Actually, I don't like that one. We're going to do instead active trader. Oops. So active trader, here we go. And this kind of acts like this right here, this little ladder kind of acts like time and sales and level 2 as well. It's not quite as detailed as these two, but I like to have it up too just to see. But we're going to shrink this some, so we're going to change some things on this. Click on the little settings button. We're not using reverse or flatten. We want to put quantity in with buttons up there. Buy, sell, quantity with buttons. You can keep that on there. We want to put auto send up there. Remove everything else. Okay. So now look at here. This is perfect. I use market orders. I'll do a whole thing on market or limit. You can change these buttons to limit if you'd like. If not, you can actually click limit here on the price you want for buy and over here for sell. So that's another reason why I keep this up. It makes it really nice. And then you have your quantity. And you can just go here to add 100 shares or whatever, or type it in, or you can just go bam, 1K shares. So this makes it to where you can move kind of quickly the way you want to. And then I always put the auto send button on, because if not, what's going to happen, and I'll show you, hopefully this will work to show you. Yeah, so you see, without the auto send button, this stupid thing here pops up, and it's like, hey, are you sure you want to do this? And by that time, you're missing out on the stock, so you just wasted a bunch of time. So I hit auto send, and then all you got to do is hit buy market, sell market, and the order is going to fill immediately. So same thing with the limit order. You can see I'll click. See right here on the chart. Okay. So yeah, you can see that rejected me. It's Sunday. You can't buy. You can't do things on Sunday. But for that split second, you saw it put the limit order here on the chart. So it automatically puts the limit order in for you. Now it doesn't guarantee the fill, but it puts it in, so you don't have that stupid box. Okay. So we've got our chart. Those two charts, our buy and sell area, our time and sales, our level 2. I think that's pretty much it. Besides over here, we got to fix this over here. So we don't need no more. We don't need this. So close that out, and we don't need this chart. So we'll close this out. Okay. So that should be good. And you don't have to have things exactly like this as far as the setup. If you want your 1 day, 1 minute chart up here and your 6 month chart down here, I mean, that's all up to you. That's a preference thing. But this is the way you want to set everything up so you can see what you're looking at. So then over here, we don't need this Trader TV. We do want this live news, and we're going to link this. This is another thing you want to link. So, bam. So now, let's make sure everything else is linked. Yeah, everything else is linked. So now you can click or just put your mouse over and you can see the press release. So on May 13th, they announced whatever that garbage was. So this helps so you can see if there's a good reason to buy, if there's a press release on the stock. Now this Trader TV we don't want. We're going to delete that gadget. This is a watch list. For today we do want that. Let's delete that gadget. To add a watch list, you go to add, this little plus sign, watch list. And then boom, you got your watch list. And this is where you can just type in a stock. So we were talking about SLOY earlier. Enter. It's in there. Click on it. Well, let's see. Oops. Okay. Let's see here. Well, you should be able to just click on it and it should go over, but if not, you can just hold, you can just click and hold and bring it over. Sometimes you gotta check, make sure that things aren't zoomed out. So you can just drag it over and it'll pop everything up for that stock. So that way you have your watch list of your 2 or 3 stocks in the morning. If you need to see one, you can just drag it over. So we'll add like another one. ELTK. I think that's right. So then we got that one. So we'll drag it over. Bam. Everything changes because it's all linked right here. So we don't need 2 watch lists. So we're going to delete that one. The other thing I like to add is, this one is going to be hard for me to remember what it is, where it's at, because I don't remember. Well, like I said, I don't remember where it's at, but all it was is just like a top gainer, the NASDAQ stocks list. I'll have to try to figure out where it's at and tell you guys later. Let's see, maybe is this it? No, that's not it. I think it's more of an in-depth process to get that. So anyway, this is pretty much it. Oh, to get these little things off here, just click. Oh, yeah, so the sidebars will still be there. So you can just click these to take that off. So it looks a little cleaner. And then up here somewhere, oh yeah, here it is. So you can click right here, click that off, and your grid's locked in. And then you can save it as well. You can share it, delete it, but you want to save your grid so that way it'll stay. You can see I have 2 day trading grids already. They're basically the same thing. But that is it for setting up your charting. This is what you will be looking at every day. Now, there's one other thing we got to set up, and this is going to be the scanner that we're going to use. This is going to be the main scanner. So this is one of the great things about ThinkorSwim. A lot of other platforms and stuff charge quite a bit for their scanners, where ThinkorSwim gives it to you for free. So as you can see, I already have some things up here. Actually, I think this is just the basic one. So let's just close all these out. Now we have our 3 criteria, which I'll do a whole video on. So let's add a filter for the stock. And we have our price range that we're looking for the stocks in. So we'll just say, it doesn't matter, you can use the bid or the ask, but I'm just going to use the bid for now. I think there's another one that's like price somewhere, but it doesn't really matter. The bid's gonna work as the same thing because that's just where people are buying it at. So you just want to filter out all the stocks that you don't want to look at. So put in 50 cents for the max, $50 cents for the minimum, $10 for the max. So we got that there. So if you hit scan, and you can see we get a whole list of stocks right here. And this looks really complicated, and this is like a lot of stocks. But you can see there's no stock under 50 cents on this list, and no stock over, well, I lied, there's one over $10. Huh, that's strange. Why didn't it? Well, that's the okay, right here, because we scanned by the bid, so that's why. That's fine. Actually, let's change it to last. Use last, because the fact that ACB popped up at $12, we don't want that. So let's hit scan again. So last, there we go. Nothing over $10, nothing under 50 cents. So we're going to add one more filter. And we want that low float. So there's not actually a way to change it by float exactly. So you have to use shares. And this is going to basically do the shares combined, the float, the public shares combined with the insider shares and all that stuff. So I give it a little bit more room. Normally want 20 million or below for the float. But like I said, this is more than just the float in this scanner. So I like to do 40 million. That way we're not missing anything. Let's see, 40. One more zero, I think. And then you just leave the minimum as 0 because you want to see every low stock. So hit scan. So now we have a little bit of a shorter list. And then we're going to add one more, and that's the volume, because we need the volume. We're looking for the high or unusual volume. So this you kind of have to play with in the morning, because when the day starts, that's when it starts measuring the volume. So normally we want it at 100K volume. Well, not a max. We want it at a minimum of 100K volume, because like I said, we're trying to make things easy, trying to narrow it down. 100K, yeah. And then you can just put the max as the max, because you can never have too much volume. So hit scan, and you see our list is a little bit smaller. But this list, let's see, also you need to go to show 2000 as well. Yeah. Because we want all the stocks as possible. So right now we're showing 300 stocks. We're going to hit this little gear button right here in the corner and take some of all this nonsense out, because we don't want all this. We don't care about that. 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 Leave the chain. Don't need the description. So we got last. See, we want shares. See if they've done any updates. Nope. They've not done any updates to add float in. I wish they would. There's probably a way you can make it, but so we'll put shares. So we have the symbol. We have the price it was last at. We have the net change and percent change, volume, and shares. So see there, symbol, last, net, percent change, volume, shares. So you want to set it up like that so this looks cleaner. Bam. So there, that's a lot easier to look at. So to filter these out even more, in the morning, we'll go by volume. And now we see the stocks that are hot. You see SBOT, price was $195, net change 0.75, percent change 62%. So that changed quite a bit. And as you see, the volume is really high, 48 million volume. And you see the shares, the float, 5 million, really small. So that's what we're looking for. That's exactly what we're looking for. This will show us the start of these stocks. Like this scanner would have pulled this up when it was probably at 5 or 10%, so we could get in and make this 50% gain. So this is exactly what we want. So this is set up perfectly. So just take a second to look at that. Stock filtered last, stock shares, volume. Set it up to these parameters, and you can find these stocks pretty easily. And in the morning, you're not going to have a list of 301 over the weekend. This data is from Friday, and so by the end of the day, a lot of stocks have volume. You're not going to have this many on your list. In the morning, you probably have like 10. And so you can drag it up here to the live news in the morning when you do your scan, and you look and see if there's any type of good reason for the stock to be moving. And let's see, May 30th, they show results. Got some type of approved transaction for an exchange deal. So I guess that was good because it got everybody excited. I'd have to read that press release a little bit more. I mean, it does seem positive. But I mean, what was the transaction that was approved? You know, sometimes you got to find that out. But anyway, that's all you got to do. We got the scanner up, the charts up. We want to clean the watch list up a little too. So we don't want that. We want last. Actually, I'm going to move from net change, percent change. Okay. So there we have the symbol. Well, yeah, we have last, percent change, and also want to add in shares. Just so we have the information right there available to us on our watch list. And then you can go down and you can make these a little cleaner. So there we go. So that's pretty much it. And another cool thing you can do to kind of help everything stay on one screen, you have to go hit scan every morning. But once you do, you can add a gadget. How do I do it? Watch list. Like I said, guys, I've not had to set this up in a while, so that's not it. There is a way. I'm not seeing it. Alright, so let's go back to the scan, and should be, oh, well, that's okay, that's fine. Save scan query. Yeah, that doesn't matter. It's going to say that stuff. But let's put, actually, let's change it to morning scanner. Let's call it morning. Save. So that's saved. And then you can see here, set up morning scanner. We're all set up there. And then over here, if we go to watch list, oh yeah, here we go. That's right. I remember now. You can create the scan query, but we saved it already, so where was it at? Oh, and this is the other way. Top 10% gainers on NASDAQ. So that was the other thing I was looking for. We'll customize that. Like I said, we just want things clean. It's just a lot better looking when things are clean. And then let's add the shares. So you want all the information available to you all the time. Bam. There we go. And then we'll shrink this a little bit. DMPI. Man, I missed that one Friday. I didn't see that. I didn't trade Friday, so I didn't. I haven't really looked yet to see what all happened. But Friday looked like a pretty good day. Fridays are usually tricky, but. So let's add watch list. There's our morning one. That's what there's morning, but let's see. Nope. Didn't want to do that. Okay, so we want to change this to morning. Oh, here we go. Personal. So morning. Bam. There we go. So now your scan in the morning will also show up right here. So let's clean that out. Remove. Oops. Percent change. Add. See, there's all this stuff. You can make day trading as complicated as you want. But to me, there's no reason to. Like, you don't, like what polychrome MTM, polarized fractal efficiency, like, what? It's insane. It's so insane. Like I said, I showed you this scan showed the 1% change. Oh, now DMPI showed up. Oh, okay, because of the, okay. Remember, I changed. I did it by volume, and I didn't see DMPI down here. But you want to do by volume and percent change just to see. I'm curious. I just want to see while we're doing this. This will be interesting. DMPI. And I was watching this stock about a week ago. Yeah, so as you can see, here, it's Friday. Was this Friday? Move this off my screen over here while I was there. Well, yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah, this had to be from Friday. This is our 1 minute chart. So let's take a look. See, this is why it's hard to see. You only use the 1 minute chart for 30 minutes because it only shows you. It shows so much detail, and when you're doing a big span of time like this, and you can't really see. So yeah, Friday. So this stock was not doing a lot. Yeah, just kind of man around. Like I said, I was keeping an eye on it. Man, this thing went ballistic, especially for a Friday. So let's see. We got some halts. $1,000. Huh. So they must have had some type of good trial results. I'd have to read into that more. But you can see, once again, if you look at the chart here, the 200-day moving average and these other moving averages, it busts through all this resistance, big massive run, drop back down, and right now it's riding on this support, this new support. So very simple way to make money in the stock market. You just want to keep it simple. Well, all right, guys, that's how you set it all up. Once you've gotten all set up, be looking for the next video. Like I said, hit the like button and subscribe. We'll be going into market orders and limit orders, the support and resistance lines, which will include the moving averages. We'll talk about float more, volume, all that different type of things. And then we'll get into some live trading and get everybody acclimated. And from there, it's basically just getting it all down, learning the strategies. We'll also do some patterns. I don't like to trade a ton of patterns. There's only certain ones that I like to trade because they're really predictable, and that's what we're looking for. So we'll get into all that. And make sure, if you have subscribed with the YouTube channel, you can also join the Discord chat, where I will be doing the live trading and there will be other traders. And if you need one-on-one help, you can jump in the one-on-one help chat. And everything is free with me, so you learn off the YouTube videos here. The Discord chat is free, and you can always get a hold of me on Facebook Messenger. All right, guys, I'll see you.